All right, let's talk about the, what did I call them? The supplemental problems, I think. We'll take a look here at the main page and see what it says here. Yeah, not necessarily in order. Orly and Lena would be next, but I've got the supplemental problems, and this is what it looks like on a Word doc. Okay, and if I don't get it in there, you can do this. Simply come up here and hit select all, and then right click and hit copy, and you can come to the worksheet. And I like to always give myself a space or two, but then just hit paste. I think use the first one there, and that'll keep all the then you might want to widen it out a little bit. So if you kind of highlight all those just by left clicking and then dragging that, you can then go to column width and make it, let's see, it's 8.43. Let's make it about 15, and there you have it. Okay, so we can do that, which I had already done actually here, and I'm going to change the name of this to supplemental. Okay. I've just got these set up. I'll make this even a little bit bigger. And there's no surprises. Okay, so you can kind of take these for what they are. I think through all the way through, we'll kind of check it as we go along. But I simply have just a variety of payment problems. So you're solving for payment, right? So this is going to be, solve for payment. Okay. And then I have the information right here. So I've got your present value. I've got your number of months, right? And I've already broken it down into months. And then this is the interest per month. So I've already done the division for you, right? And that's true then throughout each of these 5 problems for sure. Okay, so it should be relatively simple then to just get your answer, and if you want to, you can get all done. You can highlight those. That's fine. Make it a little bit easier. And then the same is true here, and we've gone through some present value problems already, so I'm not going to belabor those, but present value. Have we gone through present value of payments? I believe we have, yeah. It's just like any present value. So you've got your rate, you've got your number of periods, and you've got your payments. Don't make sure you keep these things square, right? In this case, it's payments. In this case, it's a future value, so we're calculating it of the future value, so we wouldn't have any payments, right? And in this case, it's both, okay? So we can have both, right? And that's fine. You get 4 variables that you just need to put in right where they belong, and click your solve, and away you go, okay? And future value. And I don't know if we've spent time with future value yet, but here I'll put in a problem just down here for the heck of it. Let's say I had payments of $100 a month, and I had a present value of 5,000, and I was just going to go for 40 years, 480 months. Okay, and I could earn 9%, roughly the rate of return for the S&P over a period of time, and I want to calculate the future value. Okay, I click OK. Now here we might have to worry about our signs a little bit. Okay, because in this case the payments that are leaving my pocket are probably going to be negative, so I'm going to enter that as a negative. Likewise, the present value is going to be leaving my pocket, so I'm going to enter that as a negative. Excuse me. Had to sneeze, sorry. So I'll enter that as a negative. Okay, and then my rate now is 9%. Now this is a case where I need to change this to a monthly rate. Excuse me, had to sneeze again, daggone it. Okay, well, Did I put that in there correctly? Oops. I'm gonna just put that in divided by 12. I should have had it over in the monthly rate one, so I apologize. In fact, I'll just cancel out and we'll just redo that. This one I meant to have over here. Got it. I got sneezes all of a sudden. Let's start over again. I'm sorry. In between sneezing and doing this, so okay. So again, I've got my rate. Okay. That's a huge rate though. So I'm gonna fix that because that'd be 9% per month. Okay, which would actually be, let's put 0.09 divided by 12, 0.0075. Yeah. That'd be more like 9% per year. So I'll get this square. Okay, so again, I'm calculating future value. Okay, there I have my rate, and I've got it calculated per month. I've got my number of periods is 480, and my payment I'll enter as a negative, and my present value I'll enter as a negative, and that should make my answer a positive number. So if I put away $100 a month for 40 years plus $5,000 initially, I would end up with $648,681.54. It wouldn't be too bad, you know, if you got like $5,000 for a graduation present, and then just $100 a month, and you'd have, you know, well over $500,000 for retirement on just $100 a month. Wow, think about that. Okay, so that should demonstrate, you know, how to do those. Then we got a couple down here that we haven't messed around on, and so again, maybe I'll do some examples of these, and it's just simply, how do we calculate the interest rate? If you know what your payments are, believe it or not, I used to have to do this fairly often. People didn't know what their interest rates were. They'd come in and say, well, can I save some money on my payment? And I'd say, well, what's your rate? Well, I don't know. And so we'd figure out what they owed on it and what their payments were, how much time they had left, and we usually then calculate what the interest rate was. So let's, here again, the sign is going to be kind of important. Okay, so let's say I had a mortgage loan maybe, and I owed $150,000. Oops. We'll say I owe $150,000 on that. My payment might be $1,025, and $150,000 I said on here. Okay, number of months might be. Let's figure that out. Say 300, which would be a 25-year term. Oh, 300. Let's try that. Okay. So what's my interest rate? Okay. Yeah, let's come up and figure this. I can just click rate. Okay. My number of periods I have. My payment, let's enter that as a negative. That's what's leaving my wallet, right? And my present value then is positive. If you don't get the signs correct on this, then it's going to screw up your answer. Now, okay, I need to get a few decimals in there, so please get a few decimals in there. And then remember, if I'm going to do this correctly, I would call that per month. Okay. And that would be correct. I could also say I could take my answer and take it times 12. And my rate would be 6.63. I would prefer that you give me the annual rate to take it times the 12, so you're going to have to adjust it, okay, when you're done. This is the more accurate way to do this. You could convert this to 25 years, okay. It's a little less accurate than this. This is actually the more accurate way to do that, okay. Hopefully a good enough example for that. Okay, and just have a couple of them there to do, and then calculating the number of periods. Okay, so I know what my payment is, I know what my present value is, and I had to calculate this fairly often too for customers. They would know their rate, but they didn't know how much time they had left, how many years they had left on their loan. Believe it or not, a lot of people didn't care. It's kind of funny. So again, we'll let's use the example that we just had, and we can kind of right? Come up with that. So we got a present value of 150, and my rate was what, 0.0636. Okay, but I'm gonna, let's do is equal to 0.0636 divided by 12. Okay, I'm just making my rate a monthly rate then. Okay, and you guys are gonna have to, I'll have to show you something when I'm done here, but so I'm calculating then. I got to come up here and I got to find my number of periods. Well, I haven't used that one. This one's going to be new to you guys. So hit the financial and then alphabetical. So NPER. Okay, I know what my rate is per month. My payment, again, I'll probably need to enter that as a negative. And then my present value is this. And my rate must have been something different on my example up there, but 282 months, okay, is what I come up with. So it's pretty close to the 300 that I had up here. I'm gonna go check that now. This seems like it's a little further off than what it ought to be, right? Maybe I had the, I'm guessing I had the rate a little bit wrong. Okay, so I calculate my rate up here, sorry. Most recent rate, okay. Number of periods, payments a negative, and my present value is 150. Yeah, I was a little bit off on my rate, I'm sorry. So how about if we do this, just say this is equal to this. I'm just doing this for my examples, and that brings that to exactly 300 then. Okay, what you guys have to do, because I went ahead and I put this in as a rate per month, you're going to have to just, the smart way is to simply, I'll show you this part. I'm calculating the number of periods. Come up and hit your number of periods like we had. Just take the rate and input it manually. So go ahead and hit my decimal, 48958, 48958. Okay. My payment and my present value I can get from here, okay? But if you plug the rate in like that, then it'll give it to you. Or you can take the month out. Either way would be fine, okay? Hopefully it gives you a good idea how to do each of these. Again, it's a little redundant things that we've been working on, but hopefully, you know, we've expanded it a few here and there. Taking a look at a couple things where we've got both things going on, little different things like that. So, you know, just pay attention, you know that whether it's years or whether it's months, and whether or not you have to convert the interest then, that's a big deal. Okay, as long as you do that, it should be pretty straightforward. So good luck on it, and we'll talk to you soon.